seeing me without it. Now that's more of a challenge. Only a handful of people have seen that. No, but I am speaking. I just showed up with my face at the blue team. I mean, arguably. It's a similar amount. There's an AC credit. Lovely. Interesting choice. Miss hoodies. The only one stopping me from wearing them is you. Hey, even that's questionable at times. And with limited fair. Leaving Florida is an option. I'm not sure how viable of an option it is, but it's an option. David lives on his own schedule. True. Actually leaving Florida in the next 2 months. Nice. Prefer to avoid that if possible, but it seems destined to happen, unfortunately. Users know they can see chat if they open a separate browser window for VT text channel. That is a good question. Do users know that? Personally, I use the pop-out option on the stage channel and then just browse as normal. Hello. Yep.
All right, gonna let everyone know that the event's starting soon, and then we'll get started. Oh. Mhm. Right. I think we're leveling off.
Looks like we're about leveled off.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming. This is the weekly Midjourney office hours. We do it every week, Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Basically, what we do is we talk about what we're working on and what we're thinking about, and then we take questions. I'm probably a little zoned out today. I was up working till 5 or 6 a.m., so it's like, happens every once in a while, but everything's good. Um, let's see what's going on lately. The biggest things are an upcoming release of the model personalization feature. So we're doing it's kind of stretched out a lot longer than we planned because it's just really hard to test a feature that personalizes the model to every single person differently. It's like not just one thing you're looking at a lot of different things. But I think when we finally come out with it, everyone's gonna be really happy with it. It is pretty great. Um, it's been a little tricky because we use some of the ratings data, and it's a little sensitive to. Um, it's a little bit sensitive to like people who are abusing the rating system. So basically, we've been spending a lot of time trying to clean the data up and trying to get it so that it's like as good as it could be. Um, so what else? The next biggest thing is sometime today or tomorrow, I hope, we're going to release a really early test version of the creation rooms on the website. It'll probably be only like the 10K club at first, and then we'll try to release it down to the 1K group. Basically, we're going to start off with something, it's going to be a bit raw, but what our plan is starts to break down. And then as it breaks down, we're going to add more rooms and then, yeah, see what happens. So it's different than a Discord room. The UI looks pretty different. It's kind of a, yeah, because the UI is different, and the UI is also going to change a lot too. But because it is pretty different from both Discord and the normal website, um, we just we don't have really way of knowing whether we're on the right track or not, or if it's a good idea or not. So the only way to know is to just throw something up there and then squeeze a lot of people in. So we will just have to test it. And so the goal is to start off with sort of a small number of really big rooms, find where it breaks, and then fix things, and then clean things up a bit more, and then eventually make it so anybody can make their own rooms. There'll be both private rooms and public rooms. Um, yeah, the rooms have like text, voice, and creation simultaneously. So in some ways, it's more chaotic than Discord, and in some ways, it's a lot cleaner because there's sort of multiple columns, and you can do it. They like the text doesn't get pushed by the images. So we'll have to and there's sort of more viewing modes. So you can just look at your images or all the images. So it's, there's a couple, it's pretty raw, but there are like a couple features which are really different than the Discord UI. And or potentially better or worse, and we just kind of want to get a sense of how that feels. And so yeah, so basically sometime today and tomorrow and Friday, like look for sort of us doing announcements that involve opening that to more and more people depending on what's going on, or if things just, I mean, things might just like break too, as we have a lot of people on it. So we just don't know, because it's a social feature. The only way to test it is with lots of people. So we're going to start testing that. And then the next thing is 6.1 release. The 6.1 release that I'm trying to move the team towards is something that involves better image quality and better coherence, or sort of better like hands and bodies, and like better text quality. And so we have each of those, and also like we might get it like 25% faster. And so we have each of those things demonstrated now. They are all working individually. We have not put them together. There are some like side effects and glitches we're seeing that we need to resolve still. Like there are some artifacts that each of the improvements have introduced. So we're trying to clean each of them up and make sure that they're kind of strict improvements. The image quality boost is a lot more dramatic than I was expecting. We tried to make something that reduced the sort of like small pixel glitches, and instead we got something that actually might improve like skin quality and eyes and a lot of those other things too. So I'm hoping that people really enjoy that. The hands and body stuff looks quite a bit better too. So does the text. 6.1 will be pretty serious workhorse. Like, yeah, and it has a lot of the improvements that we were kind of expecting in a V7, like much more coherence and much better image quality. Yeah, I think the things that set V7, yeah, maybe like we should call it 6.5. I don't know. It's pretty dramatic. At least it seems like it should be pretty dramatic. So yeah, I think that'll be kind of the six. That'll be like the official, and that's going to be ready because it involves fixing different glitches and putting things together. So I had to guess like 2 weeks. So hopefully by the end of the month. I think for V7, I think everything else is going to basically be pushed to V7. I don't think we're planning on more V6 related features, but I think it feels quite good. So I'm pretty happy with that. And for V7, I think we have a pretty clear roadmap to much better prompt like understanding. And we have a pretty good roadmap for improved knowledge and like fast, like better aesthetics. So I think originally we were thinking V7 would also improve the image quality, but we might actually ship the image quality improvements in V6. So V7 maybe less about image quality and more about sort of prompt understanding, simplified architecture, the ability to put more features in there, stuff like that. So anything else? Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be much better aesthetics. Oh, it's going to have much better upscalers too. Yeah, better upscalers, better aesthetics, much better prompt understanding. And then we'll start like working on more character reference, style reference, sort of like Gen 2 type stuff. So I think the character and style reference things will be much better in the V7. So, but yeah, so I think that's V7 is still a bit out. So we're gonna try to get the personalization out, the 6.1, the rooms, and then we're gonna focus all on V7. As the rooms are out and kind of proven, we'll start to do testing for people using the website without a Discord account. So we'll probably make a small wait list of some kind and then let people test it without the Discord account and make sure that they are happy with that. And then we would make the website potentially open to more people for new signups. So I think we're likely to yeah, we're still working on 3D and we're working on video models. Both are continuing to get better. I am slightly more optimistic about 3D shipping before video still, just because the 3D is mostly related to data collection and video is related to, I think, potentially unknown research details. We thought that if video was just a matter of like making the model big, like what OpenAI did, then that's pretty easy to do. But as more people have used the OpenAI model and people kind of decided it's kind of bad, they were like, okay, well, we can't just like make a thing bigger. It's going to involve like new things that nobody's done yet. So that made me kind of think it's going to be a little bit further out to make it worthwhile. But the team is working on that. Nobody's saying Sora is bad. Yeah, people are. It's just you have to yeah. I'm gonna be like a little bit more in the know than internet people. So I think one of the challenges with the video stuff is like, if only like 1 out of 10 videos is good and then it takes you like 10 minutes to make a video, it's just gonna be like really expensive and a bad experience. So you have to be careful. So I think we want to make something that's really good. And yeah, and we kind of try to like people kind of treat something as good as like it's sort of average or minimum rather than as good as at best. So yeah. Um, we're gonna add a lot more features for V7, so like color reference and all sorts of things like that. So we'll see. V7 is gonna have a lot more features. So one of the goals of V7 is to make it simpler. V7 is also being made for both like 3D and for video more, so those things will also. One of the goals is to make the V7 architecture capable of doing sort of special video things that I think might make the videos consistently good. So, I think that we had a V6 video model that we thought about releasing, but we kind of looked at it and we're like, okay, this is, these kind of look wonky like everything else. So, how do we make the videos, like how do we sort of add new weird things that nobody's done in video before? And so the V7 architecture is more compatible with that. So, yeah. And what else? Oh my gosh. Going to sleep at 6 a.m. Not a good idea. Um. What else? I think those are the biggest things. Yeah, I think 3D is going to come out a little bit more than video because it's about the data collection, and we're going to start pretty heavily with the data collection the next 2 months, and then things should move pretty fast. The video is going to be going at the same time too, so it's really hard to kind of get a sense for it. But I think because video involves potentially like unknown research things, that makes it a little harder than something that's just about data. Oh yeah, Midjourney breakfast cereal. Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's do Midjourney breakfast cereal. Now with more cats. They're like little, I want to feel like Lucky Charms, but instead of the marshmallows being charms, they're little cats. Oh, dolphins and boats would be cute, yeah. Um, we are going to do more collaborations with other companies probably after the website is ready, but sometime between the website and V7, but we'll see. We're going to try to do the captioning party and we're going to try to do style random, but those things have kind of flipped a lot because we just didn't have enough people to work on all the features at the same time. So at some point we're asked people to help us caption images. At some point we're going to there's a style random that's pretty good. So I don't know exactly where that is, but I think it's close to release. Um, we definitely need help with lots of captioning. It's hard to say what we'll need exactly from the captioning. We're doing a lot of new captioning things, but the captioning thing is an important part for the V7 model, but yeah, we're trying a few different things. Yeah, I think that's it. 12:25, usually it's around how long I can go for. We have a bunch of new teams we're spinning up, like the storytelling team, hardware team, have this like collective intelligence team, the psychometrics team. After we have the personalization feature, one of our hopes is to do a bunch of demographic and sort of psychometric surveys and try to understand the links between aesthetics, demographics, and like personality. Like how much of your aesthetics are related to like any of those things is a really interesting question that nobody knows, and we would like to try to answer that question. Um, and then maybe one day we'll even say like, you can use the model, you can use like the Africa version of the model or the Japan version of the model where it's sort of like based off of just people in Japan. So that could be kind of interesting too. Um, that's it for now. So let's go ahead and do a lightning round. So if you have any questions, type into the DC text channel. The rooms are real time, they're not asynchronous. Could make sense to do an asynchronous thing one day, but not for a while. Green grapes or purple grapes? I like purple grapes more. I will take a nap today. I think in theory, everything that Discord does should be available on the website, but I think we're not very good at, there's just a lot of features. And so I think there's just, we don't have enough people to immediately mirror all the features on Discord. I'm sorry. I do know Lex Friedman. Hanged out a few times. There are a lot of website features being worked on, but the main thing is the rooms right now, and then we're going to update the idea submission stuff so that it's sort of more automatic and it updates more frequently on its own, so it can become more of a living space. We did put a pause on Biden and Trump stuff due to the election.
as we said we would. But we are not doing like a big press release about it. Yeah, I mean, Adobe's Firefly was, yeah, probably trained on Midjourney images too, but I mean, to be honest, I think you might be hard pressed to find an image model that didn't use Midjourney data. I think you'd be surprised that there might be almost no image model that's not trained on Midjourney images. Um, the main social stuff that we're doing is the rooms right now, but there will be other things too eventually. We can't do that many things at once. I think we did change the upscaler once since V6 launch. We're currently planning on just having hide buttons on the website instead of like a full delete button. We might add like a report button soon, so if something bad happens, you can report it and it'll go away. But the delete button was not meant to be used in quite the way it is on Discord. There's like 1% of people in the community will like delete 10,000 things by doing things on the website, on the Discord, where you like use emojis on it. But I mean, a lot of that is like literally abuse, and then they're trying to hide bad images that, and then we ban them. So, you know, it's not really like, or they're trying to get like a stealth mode without having a stealth mode. So it's kind of not clear. Yeah, I mean, some people are using it innocently, but it just wasn't meant to be used that way. So I think, um, yeah, the hide is pretty much the same thing as delete, except for that you can get it back. You can unhide. We could call hide like trash, but I don't know. It might create an expectation that things are then like like nobody else can see things, which is not, you know, which is more like the stealth mode, and we're trying to not make delete and stealth the same thing. But no, it does create some complexity to the system, but I think, you know, does Midjourney train on Midjourney images? No. If we did, it would make it worse. In general, training on AI images makes things worse. So you should not do it. Um, Training on AI, using AI data to train on makes things worse unless you have like a worse model. Like bad models get better if they're trained on better models, but good models don't get better. But basically, a bad model trained on AI data from a good model makes it better, but a good model trained on data from a good model gets worse. I don't have a specific opinion on cryptids or Sasquatch. I like aliens though. I would like Midjourney merch. Really wanted Midjourney merch. There was like a person that I wanted that was going to do it. I really wanted them to do it, and they kind of just disappeared. It was like I only had like one person that I had in mind that was like make something really, really beautiful merch. Otherwise, I don't quite have the time to micromanage like it. We will do a lot of control net. We do a lot of control net things. Um, we do some control net things already. We're going to do more for V7. What's our stance on ethics? You can do good things and bad things with anything, and please do not do bad things. Do good things. That's my ethical stance. And then sorry, I lost my place. don't. I mean, you can report your own stuff if you it accidentally generates and nude it or something, but don't report stuff. Yeah, you can report stuff if you get kind of nudity by mistake, but don't report things that, yeah, are just like that you just don't like. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about political cartoons. I think that I did not make Midjourney for political cartoons, so if, yeah. In general, like, yeah, I'm just like I didn't really make Midjourney for doing political cartoons or for like journalism, deepfakes, or anything like that. So yeah, if we don't let you do something, I'm sorry, but it's not super thing that we do. I don't think we're planning on doing vector images. I think it'd be more likely that we would do transparency. I think that's ranked higher right now. I don't think we're gonna do audio per se. It could make sense to do some kind of sound effects eventually, like if there's an open world sandbox, but I mean, I think my last company I did more marketing, and so I think doing Midjourney with like less marketing has been good because we don't create like expectations about things that we don't do. And I think that it's been nice not having any investors. We can kind of just like take our time, and if we like something, we like it. If we don't, we don't. Um, yeah. Um, the Chinese AI labs are actually, pretty good. I feel like a lot of the good open source stuff is from China at this point. There's definitely things there that are not good, but then there's also not good things in the American labs too. Like, yeah, like obviously some of the China labs will train on GPT-4, but then like, some of the major labs in America will train on Midjourney. So I think it's there's kind of same stuff all over. But I think China is embracing open source more than the West is. There's definitely things that I see in Midjourney that surprise and impress me. There isn't exactly anything like Midjourney anywhere that I know of. We're not currently working on an orb. We've thought about it, but I think we're working more on other things right now. There's some other prototypes we're going to play with that might be different than the orb. Um, don't know what the emo demo is. The Quen models are quite good. Is the bottleneck in development in hardware understanding / research? I think the bottleneck in AI is more on the people side. Some people say that they don't have enough computers, but I think that's not true. So like OpenAI would say that they didn't have enough computers, but then like Mistral, which is like 4 French people, like basically made a model that was as good as the released GPT-4 with like 100x less computers. So I think like Mistral showed that you don't actually need a lot of computers. You do need a lot, but not like a lot. And then I think It's more about people. There's still a lot of places that people can make a difference in AI. Yeah, I'm not really sure what AGI means. I think it's very likely that we'll see something that is like AGI, but maybe not actually fully general. But it's hard to say. What's the general vibe in Silicon Valley when it comes to AGI at the moment?
That's it.
Doom, hope, or both? I think that everyone assumes in Silicon Valley that AGI is going to happen. I don't think. I think people and that that's a good thing. I think there's like a sense that like a lot of human institutions are failing, and that AGI is likely to help those things rather than hurt those things. Yeah, I think there's a general idea that like more intelligence in the world is always a good thing. I think that all that's true to some extent. There are definitely risks of various kinds, but I think there's almost no one in AI who approaches AI with a sense of doom, just like different levels of optimism around timelines and what they'll be able to do. There are like specific doom groups that are like that basically are like that are doomy, but they're not really. Most of the people who are doomy about AI are not in the field. Like there's something about like the closer you are to the field, the more that it seems like, oh, we can probably do this well instead of badly. I definitely think there are risks, but I mean the risks are closer to are more like social media risks. Like social media had a lot of pros and cons, more than they're like the risks of like Terminator. But to be honest, like, yeah, the AI stuff might actually help fix a lot of the social media problems. So it's yeah, it's not like if we just stop doing things that things will get better. I think in general the only way out is through. Kind of have to keep going. Just keep swimming. Trying to catch up on things. I do a lot of RLHF, yeah. I think I have fun with it. I did watch the Three Body Problem. I don't know, it was like a little aggro, but I get it. I guess the aliens are supposed to be America, I heard. This is a little interesting. I did not watch Civil War. Man, everybody wants me to say, what did I watch Civil War? What do I think about this model? What do I think about this? No, it's not like the aliens actually are Americans. There's just like this idea that the aliens are like metaphorically aliens. Do we know believable cases of UFO sightings? I think the government said that there's a lot of ones that are unexplained, but I don't understand why aliens would come into the atmosphere of Earth. Like you could probably figure everything out without ever going into the atmosphere of Earth if you're an alien. Like you can detect life on Earth from other like from without even like but from like another star with a telescope. So in theory, aliens, very far away with very good telescopes can know that there are intelligent life on Earth. And then anything that is like relatively nearby could probably learn a lot about us without having to like enter the atmosphere. So aliens in the atmosphere seems like nothing that's not totally coherent. I think like I would sooner say that the UFOs are from like intelligent penguin civilizations that live underground in Antarctica or something. Like it's more likely that a UFO is from like a intelligence, some kind of intelligence that is on Earth that's not human, the normal human civilization. Like, but I don't think that an alien from another star is gonna cruise through the atmosphere and abduct a cow or crash into a desert. Like if a UFO was gonna crash into the desert, it would like it would have crashed before it got here because like it takes very hard to get to Earth. So if you get all the way to Earth, you're probably not gonna crash. Yeah, I saw Expanse. It was all right. Um, yeah, we're working on V7. We're not working on V8. It's clear there will be a V8, but I think pretty focused on 6.1 and V7. Do aliens use Midjourney? I don't know. This is where I say, I am an alien. Elon should connect a monkey with Neuralink to Midjourney. Well, there's a person with a Neuralink in it now too, so that's pretty cool. Does Midjourney use aliens? Well, if I'm an alien, then yes. Waha. Cool. I think we're starting to peter off in terms of lightning round questions. We have a partner that in China that is, does Midjourney stuff there. So there is some stuff coming to China. Okay. What do we do? Let's do two quick voice things and then one more lightning round, and then we'll call it a day. With that. We'll let two people up onto the stage. We'll do some voice. I wish I could do more. I'm just like a little tired, but nice hearing voices. It's like makes me energized. So I have a couple people up on the stage. Anybody want to come up on the stage?